Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final deciding game between PainUser and WhiteRa. PainUser did some amazing EMPs in Game 1 to win a decisive macro battle. In Game 2, WhiteRa just did such an amazing tech pattern, getting Zealots with charge, +1 attack, and 4 Colossi for a huge push that was just a little bit too much for PainUser to handle. It all comes down to the last game on Jungle Basin, $3,500 on the line. And the winner of this will be our second semifinalist, the first semifinalist you can find out by watching Drewby against Dimaga. So, WhiteRa, aka DuckloadRa, sponsored by Duckload, spawning in the top left corner as the blue Protoss. In the bottom right corner, we have PainUser spawning as the yellow Terran. The map is Jungle Basin. The most noteworthy thing about Jungle Basin is the fact that you have this little itsy-bitsy, easy-to-manage choke behind which you can take a nice juicy early expansion. These destructible rocks are a very popular target for 4 warp gate pushes, with pylons being planted here or here and just general mess-aroundery by the Protoss. But either way, most people on this map very much so favor ultra early expanding. Protoss is even willing to do things like 15 Nexus on this map. Terrans could potentially do some craziness like that, but most Terrans still do enjoy getting that very fast orbital command. But would not be surprised to see a 1-Rax expand, or even a 1-Rax expand without gas. PainUser gearing up to figure out the perfect location for that barracks to go down, very much so like a small dog pats around on a padded surface, so it's just right before he lies down to rest. That is the mental image of PainUser throwing down a Rax. We do see that first probe moving out along the south side of Jungle Basin to scout the opponent. The gateway is now done for WhiteRa. He is throwing down an assimilator on 15. Has been chrono boosting those probes. First probe about to reach PainUser's base, and as we see, wow, yep, no refinery going on at all. Might just do a 1-Rax, fast expand, very, very effective build on this map. Or he could just be going for an ultra cheesy second Rax. Whoa! Oh man, I'm a little surprised WhiteRa hasn't gone by the gas yet, but now that that barracks is done, he's going to see no gas there and no gas there. He is like 100% going to be convinced that his opponent is going for some sort of very fast expansion. But PainUser is actually kind of betraying himself by having this many SCVs off mining. WhiteRa would be smart to throw down an extra Zealot right now. That's a very typical play at this point in time, but really, with PainUser having all of these guys rallied, it's going to be a little tough, and oh no, he doesn't end up seeing the second barracks, and there's another barracks going down from PainUser. Wow, what does he think he's doing, playing 2v2? It's going to be going mass barracks right at the outset. WhiteRa has almost nothing. Oh no, WhiteRa, oh WhiteRa. Looks like he is gearing up to get a Stalker. Hasn't even begun the warp gate upgrade yet. Oh, WhiteRa could be in just horrendous position. So important that if your opponent is going for an early expand, that you get a Zealot and a Stalker and do a push early on, at the very least to do damage if he is early expanding, or to find out this sort of opening. This is going to be an absolute nightmare for WhiteRa to hold off, and uh-oh, he's rallying a probe. Is this a misclick? He does have 2 probes gathered there. He could be going for an early expand. 1 Stalker is out for WhiteRa. He's trying to push aggressively. He's going to encounter 2 Marines. Those will be able to take the probe out, but he doesn't know that there's this many Marines on the battlefield yet, so WhiteRa is going to try to micro as best he can. He's going to end up picking off one of the Marines. He's going to try to chase down the second one. PainUser is still trying to hide absolutely everything that he is doing. PainUser now trying to regroup, and that's going to be a big sign for WhiteRa. He's going to be very confused as to why 3 Marines just swarmed him from all angles. He's going to try to micro. Well, he is trying to abuse the range 6 of that Stalker, but this is going to be a very awkward situation. Does WhiteRa not realize it yet? Looks like he still is not aware that there is more than 1 barracks producing units. Here comes all the Marines to dart forward. Oh no, did he see the SCVs? I don't think he did. I don't think he did. PainUser now trying to move forward, and this is going to be a huge telltale sign. Uh-oh! Limbo line of SCVs, and in the meantime, WhiteRa is going to find out at his front door, plenty plenty of Marines marching on in. WhiteRa needs to take a few extra shots. He doesn't. There's the bunker going down. A lot of probes are being pulled off right now. He should probably even end up canceling that. Probes and Marines battling it out right now. This single Lone Stalker doing tremendous amounts of damage. The bunker getting very close to being finished. There is the Warp Gate upgrade being finished. Only 3 Marines out right now, but if any Marines get into that bunker, that could be devastating. The Stalker from behind. WhiteRa doing an amazing job of holding this off. He needs to prevent anything from getting into the bunker. Can he pick it off? No! Everything gets into the bunker. These 2 Warp Gates are under serious pressure. The Nexus finished. Oh my goodness, WhiteRa is in horrendous shape. He desperately needs to get more Warp Gates up if he wants to be able to sustain this sort of production. But look at WhiteRa pinching everything off from the backside, denying any more pressure from this bunker. It looks like he will end up losing these 2 Warp Gates, but that might just be it. And it looks like he is trying to mount some sort of counteroffensive. PainUser also expanding. Hasn't even begun building a geyser yet. Whoopsie daisies, another Marine ends up making its way up into the main. But how will WhiteRa actually end up trying to transition out of this mess? He's not making enough probes. He's making too many at his main. There are the Stalkers trying to do a little bit of micro action, pulling back. They will end up retreating to heal the shields. And uh-oh, looks like he's darting for it. He picks off 1 Stalker. Will he be able to pick off the other? No. Oh, man. PainUser with a very, very nice timing. WhiteRa just not doing enough with his money at this phase in the game. There, he will finally pick off those last remaining units, keep a Stalker or 2 alive. And in the meantime, PainUser is going to be going mass barracks action. He might even lift these, return home, and do some sort of huge 6 racks action. But this is a lot of leeway for WhiteRa at this point in time. He sees 3 barracks worth of Marines flooding him. Well, perhaps he doesn't know the exact number, but he sees tons of Marines flooding him. He knows that the aggression is at a damper for now, so if he did some very, very fast Colossus play, he might be in good shape. Generally, the problem with going mass Colossus is the fact that it's so hard to get there. It's so hard to be able to stay alive while you are getting that slow-to-build, expensive unit. But if your opponent has only just now begun mining gas, I mean, look at this. 50 gas total has been mined from this refinery. No tech labs have even been thrown down yet. This is going to give WhiteRa a long time to get up all those necessary structures. Chrono Boost going down on all of the Nexuses. There are the Stalkers trying to poke up. Ooh, they're going to be greeted by a bunker and a healthy number of Marines. PainUser, well known for playing safe, not going to break that trend, getting that missile turret up. The good old usual pylon to do the warp in harass. Very standard, very good play. There's the Robo going down. Now, we did see in the last game that WhiteRa was able to do an amazing job with Colossi, and if we look at the unit counting station, WhiteRa is actually a little bit ahead, but that can be deceiving. With all these barracks done, the instant PainUser begins getting add-ons, his food is going to skyrocket. And ooh, look at this single Zealot harass, not overcommitting to this idea of the harass, just gently nudging his way in. WhiteRa trying to find an opening. He will end up taking a little bit of hull damage, but he'll just pull back. Heal shields. There's the scout barracks from PainUser now marching in. We do see that that Robo Bay is very, very close to finishing. WhiteRa finally feeling a little bit of comfort on this game. He is leaving some probes behind at the Xel'Naga Watchtower. As we look around PainUser's base, though, there's absolutely no tech structures. Is this his first factory? Yes, finally getting thrown down. No refineries, no Vespine geysers there. Bunker getting thrown down. Very defensive play. Barracks going to get repelled. He doesn't see that the Colossus tech is coming out right now. WhiteRa has been spending all his Chrono Boost on probes, but is probably going to be dumping 100% of it into the Colossus tech, the range, and of course the Colossus itself. The PainUser hasn't gotten any extra add-ons here. Is only, oh no, is only a quarter done with Stim. WhiteRa might actually manage to pull this game off. What an incredible 2-1 comeback that would be. Either way, we do see that the Observer is now moving around inside of PainUser's main. The one thing that makes WhiteRa such a pain to play against is the fact that he's so experienced. He has played more games than almost pretty much any other gamer that I know. He logs an absurd amount of hours into Starcraft 2, and as a result, he has experienced so many different situations that he is ultra calm under pressure and can really continue to make the correct decisions almost no matter what the scenario is. And that means that PainUser is really going to have a very solid follow-up plan from that bunker rush if he wants to be able to combat WhiteRa. I mean, look at this. WhiteRa almost looks like he didn't nearly lose the game at the start. He's already getting so many more Zealots, Stalkers, Colossi, right back on track, getting that +1 attack attack upgrade, getting that Zealot with charge. This is so amazing play, but PainUser is getting a very hefty little force of units up. There's the reactor going down for the starport. He's gearing up to do a very nicely timed push. PainUser, who did the cheese but didn't just give up when it didn't work, continuing to advance forward. Now he's moving into the middle of the map. Here's a relatively small force from WhiteRa. DuckLoadRa or WhiteRa. Should say one or the other, not both at the same time. So there's PainUser. Now it looks like he is going to have to pull back this Marauder. WhiteRa's going to be advancing forward. There's the Guardian Shield, but he doesn't really have that many sentries, so he can't force field effectively. WhiteRa moving forward a little bit too early, trying to get the Colossi in there. Oh no, a huge key misstep by WhiteRa, getting way too over-eager, but it looks like WhiteRa is now trying to use these cliffs to pick off as many Marines and Marauders as possible with absolutely no medevacs. Oh no, they're actually quite low on health. It looks like he will lose one. Will he lose two? Oh, this second one is getting target fired, but oh, look at the huge kill count on those Colossi. More Zealots end up springing forward. What amazing Colossus control. The Zealot with leg speed is now continuing to boot up. WhiteRa pulling back. DuckLoadRa now looks like he is trying to find somewhere to build a pylon at the front so we can begin warping in units there. But uh-oh, look at all the unit producing structures going down. Gateways, robotics facilities. Now PainUser finally realizing that he needs to get a ton more Marauders if he wants to be able to combat that big Colossus force, but this is an extremely tense situation. Both players are right at each other's front door. WhiteRa doesn't even have a pylon there to be able to reinforce easily. Oh, we see more Colossi coming out, no upgrades coming out at the Forge. Huge force of Marines and Marauders trying to get constructed, but PainUser knows he's a little bit behind, going to go back into defensive mode. He just wants the game to go on a little bit longer. Oh, Vikings being made. This little region's very useful to bounce Vikings back and forth on. WhiteRa knows this. It looks like he's gearing up to move up with those Speed Zealots and those Colossi. Just infantry. No anti-air. Oh, the Planetary Fortress is very close to being done. Planetary Fortress finishes. All the Zealots are getting siloed into a very small space. He is trying to advance forward with... Oh, and he picks off both of the Colossi. It's just Zealots against a repaired Planetary Fortress. He is trying to do as much damage as he can. Those Speed Zealots are amazing DPS units. More Vikings pouring out. Some Stalkers beginning to advance. I do not know if WhiteRa will be able to pick it off. There's a lot of units still trying to repair. One Mule, oh my god, he's at 200 hit points, 140, and he takes it down! He loses most of his units, and it does mean that PainUser is going to have to do a huge counteroffensive if he wants to hope to win this game anytime in the near future. WhiteRa now knows that he is at an advantageous position. He needs to sit, he needs to chill, and just macro. His expansion is up. He has 2 robos done. Colossi pouring out. +2. He has 7 frickin' gateways, and he's going to be warping in a ton of those charge lots. PainUser is in a terrible position. He's salvaging bunkers, trying to get every little last bit of fun that he can to do a final all-in push, trying to get more units out, even salvaging that backdoor bunker. We see that there's no upgrades going down, doesn't even have any time to afford to fight for a longer-term game. Everything is going to come down to PainUser's next attack. He does have an SCV here. He could end up throwing down a Planetary Fortress, but oh, it looks like he's going to sneak an expansion. He knows that the front Planetary Fortress is a little too risky. The center area, he's trying to get up to pick something off, but oh, another wasted stim. And that is an extremely scary force to be up against. And here come the Zealots and the Colossi. The charge lots wrap themselves merrily around those Marines and Marauders. More kiting going on from that Marine Marauder ball. The Zealot count is getting lower, but the Stalkers have just picked off all the Vikings. It's Stalkers and Colossi against a handful of Marauders. WhiteRa advancing forward, and an unbelievable potential comeback coming from WhiteRa. He was down to 1 gate, had a bunker in his main, and look where he is now, having so many Colossi dumping out of his base, chrono boosting more upgrades. He is continuing to warp in massive amounts of gateway units. Nothing with energy even exists for WhiteRa. Just giant muscly forces making their way towards PainUser's base. There's more Vikings coming out right now. Oh, he scouts the Expo. Oh, I'll just build a pylon here. I'll let my warped-in units take care of this later. PainUser knows exactly what that means. He's going to back off. PainUser in a rough spot. Oh, WhiteRa, you totally didn't have to, but he did. He expanded to his opponent's natural. Might look a little cocky, especially considering he is constructing it in the shape of a happy face, but in reality, that is the safest location on the map for WhiteRa's expansion because he is pushing. He is going for the kill right now. The Colossi are moving in. They can't even be hit by the Marines and the Marauders. PainUser trying to pull back all of those Marauders, but wow, that is just an unbelievable force from WhiteRa. PainUser trying to find some little nook or cranny to hide those barracks units in. WhiteRa playing very carefully, just killing off the structures at the front, not rushing in for the jugular. Just going to start toe first. There's a couple of drops trying to move across the top side, but PainUser's main is in a terrible situation. There's the stem, picks off one Colossus. It's not enough. Units queued up, and the good game, WhiteRa with the amazing series of comebacks. And of course, the well-mannered both players. Congratulations to PainUser for having an amazing run in that tournament. But of course, WhiteRa managing to do an amazing comeback in the final game, and just an amazing comeback in the series overall, having a very bitter defeat in that first game, but still sticking to his guns and putting on an amazing show and crushing with that huge number of Colossus and Speed Zealots. So with that, I am Day9. This has been the first 2 round of 8 matches from Root Gaming's Warzone tournament, sponsored by DreamHost. I will see you tomorrow at the same time for the other 2 round of 8 matches. Peace out.